Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with another installment of Starter versus Booster. So, looking at, we've already gone through pretty much all the shared traits from Fantastic Four Future Foundation. Not covering Faces of Doom because I only have one chase figure left, and that trait is only on the chase figures. Also, not covering the traits for the Fast Forces figures or the Future Foundation characters aside from the Council of Doom. Mainly because they don't have the same name. While the Fast Forces trait does the same thing for everyone, they don't share the same name, so it's kind of not entirely a shared trait. And with the booster of the Future Foundation aside from the Council of Doom, their traits are all wrapped around the whole captain sidekick thing. So yeah. Anyways, but we will, however, compare the Fast Forces versions of the FF, Spider-Man, and Doctor Doom to their booster counterparts. So we'll start off, as usual, with the Fast Forces versions. Kicking things off with figure number 1, Mr. Fantastic. I do love the sculpt. The paint job's nice. Apparently this is the paint jobs you see on the members of the Future Foundation aside from Doom in the Fast Forces are their stealth outfits. Downside, none of them have stealth. Yeah. So, anyway, Mr. Fantastic comes in at 50 points, has the Fantastic Four team ability as well as the Fantastic Four Illuminati and Scientist keywords. We've improved movement, ignores elevated terrain, as well as 2 traits. First off, prevent you from hurting anyone else. When an opposing character would move adjacent to Mr. Fantastic, roll a d6. On a 4, you may choose one. That character immediately ends their action, or after resolutions, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. Now, all 6 of the Fast Forces figures have that same trait, but it's called something different each time. It's actually a good trait. Yeah, and it's got a nice little theme to where it requires a rolling of 4 as opposed to a 6, but yeah. Our other trait is Arm Lasso. Plasticity, Giant Reach 3. Okay. Looking at the dial, we get a couple clicks of Sidestep, a few clicks of Charge, and back to Sidestep at the end. On attack, we have some mid to late dial Quake. On defense, we have some Barrier, followed by Super Senses, followed by a click of Regeneration at the very end. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Outwit, then we get some Close Combat Expert, and then back to Outwit at the end. Okay, alright. The lack of Perplex kind of sucks, but, hey, whatever. Yeah, Wit's nice. That Close Combat Expert is a welcome surprise. More offensive, a slightly more offensive Mr. Fantastic. Now, looking at his booster counterpart, the more normal Future Foundation outfit, as you can see, white with black highlights. But this one comes in at 60 points, has the Fantastic, or 40 points, has the Fantastic Four team ability, as well as the Fantastic Four Illuminati and Scientist keywords. And we have a trait, training the next generation of leadership. Friendly sidekicks can use leadership. Now, all of the members of the FF, as well as Spider-Man, have a trait like that, granting different powers, gives a specific different power for each one, and grants something to sidekicks. Invisible Woman's is the only one that's different, so we'll get to her in a little bit. Looking at the dial, we've got an 8-click long dial here, 60 at top dial. All right, full points. So we get some Plasticity followed by Leap Climb. We get Incapacity on the back half of the dial. Super Senses on the front half of the dial on defense. Outwit followed on damage followed by Shape Change. Okay. Okay, all right. Again, it's more of a That's plasticity, not stealth. It's more of a. It is designed more just to be, he's a leader and grants leadership. We're not, he's not someone who's going to be rushing in. Anyway, moving on to Invisible Woman. Here's her Fast Forces version. I like the stealth suit on her especially. But she comes in at 50 points, has the Fantastic Four team ability as well as the Fantastic Four and Spy keywords. Then she's got 2 traits. Didn't see that wall, which does the same. Which does the same as I won't let you hurt anyone else. And the other trait is like I'm not even there. Oh, okay. She does have stealth. She has traded stealth. Forgot about that. Looking at her dial, we have a full dial of sidestep. We get almost a full dial of energy explosion on attack, energy shield deflection. We get some early to mid dial defend, back to energy shield deflection, and then final click of regeneration. And sadly, nothing on damage. Not too shabby though for 50 points. Not great, but not too shabby. That defend is nice. I'm not going to lie, especially if you can keep her stealthed out. And put a bunch of lower defense FF members adjacent to her. And she shares at 19. Oh boy. Anyway, here's her booster version in the white with black highlights suit. She comes in at 60 points or 40 points. Has the Fantastic Four team ability as well as the Fantastic Four keyword. Now I mentioned that her Psychic and ally trait is different from everyone else's. So here's what she does. It's called, I consider them all my children. Once per turn, when a friendly sidekick is targeted by an attack, you may replace that sidekick's defense value with Invisible Woman's printed defense value. Okay, that's kind of cool, but you can only do it once per turn. So, that's it. Looking at her dial, we get on speed, the top half of the speed dial is stealth with sidestep on the back half. Telekinesis for the top half of our attack dial. On damage or defense, we open up on the top half. We've got defend and an 18s and 19s. In fact, we get the lowest for defense goes to 17 on our last 2 clicks. And on the back half of defense, we've got barrier. On damage, only on the back half, we've got probability control. Okay, all right. And yeah, that again, a very lengthy dial, which is nice to see. Moving on, we've got the Ben Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. I love this sculpt. This one of those where both sculpts look amazing. So, this is Fast Forces Ben, obviously. Comes in at 50 points, has the Fantastic Four team ability as well as the Fantastic Four and Brute keywords. Got improved movement, ignores hindering terrain, and ignores and destroys blocking terrain. 2 traits. First off, we got Come Here, Let Me Give You a Hug, which works the same as Didn't See That Wall and prevent you from hurting anyone else. His other trait is It's Clobbering Time, which grants Close Combat Expert. Now looking at his dial, we get a couple clicks of charge followed by a few clicks of flurry, an almost full run of super strength on attack, a click of vulnerability to open up on defense, toughness, and then a final click of regeneration. So, and nothing on damage, but we do that trait Close Combat Expert. So, and we also have a consistent damage value of 3 the whole dial. So yeah, not too shabby. Now looking at his booster counterpart. He's in the traditional white with black highlights outfit for the Future Foundation. Anyway, this thing comes in at 60 points or 40 points. Has the Fantastic Four capability as well as Fantastic Four keyword. We've got improved movement, ignores and destroys blocking terrain. And we have the trait, You Gotta Be Tough, Kid. Friendly sidekicks can use toughness. Okay, alright. Looking at his dial. Top half of the speed dial is charge, followed by, and the back half is sidestep. Top half of attack is quake, followed by super strength on the back half. invulnerability for the first half of his dial on defense, followed by toughness on the latter half, and then sadly nothing on damage. In fact, he doesn't even unlike the his fast forces counterpart, he does not have traded close combat experts. So yeah, but we do have 3 clicks of the 4 damage, which is quite nice. And there's at least a way to give him close combat expert. Anyways, moving on, we've got the Human Torch. Sculpt-wise, I mean, the sculpts look good, but I still say that the rare Human Torch is the superior Human Torch sculpt. And that's factoring in all the ones from the Fantastic Four set and all the ones of Johnny from this set. So yeah. The only one the only recent Human Torch sculpt that's on par with that rare is the one from the starter. Anyways. Like everyone else, Human Torch comes in at 50 points. He has improved movement, ignores characters, as well as the Fantastic Four team ability at the Fantastic Four celebrity keywords. His trait is, you know I'm hot. 2000 degrees to be exact. Again, it's the same thing. If a character moves adjacent, roll a d6, and you can potentially either make them stop, end their action immediately, or they can, or they take 1 penetrating damage after resolutions. He also has another trait called Spontaneous Combustion, which grants him poison. Looking at his dial, we open up with a few clicks of Running Shot, a few clicks of Sidestep. On damage or attack, we have a quite a bit of Pulse Wave with some mid to late dial Smoke Cloud, and then back to Pulse Wave. His defense style is surprisingly lacking. No inertial deflection, nothing like that. Just 1 click of regeneration at the very end. And then nothing on damage. This is probably one of the more disappointing dials in the Fast Forces. It feels a little... I honestly kind of feel like 50 points is a bit much for him. But anyways, moving on, we've got his booster counterpart. Comes in at 60 or 40, just like everybody else. Has the Fantastic Four team ability as well as Fantastic Four and celebrity keywords. His trait is, I make my own security firewalls. Barrier. Barrier is free, but only generate 1 marker adjacent to a friendly sidekick, regardless of range or line of fire. Okay. So that's 2 that have a different one. They're different. Looking at Human Torch's dial, again, it's long. Running Shot followed by Sidestep. Energy Explosion followed by Poison. Inertial Deflection on the top half of defense. Range combat expert on the back end of damage. Not bad. Not great. Dials are... Anyway, next up we've got Spider-Man. Spidey here comes in at 50 points. Has the Fantastic Four team ability as well as the Fantastic Four Spider-Man family and scientist keywords. And he has improved movement, ignores elevated terrain. 2 traits. Webbed Feet. Again, same as everyone else with the whole, opposing character moves adjacent. They can, on a 4, they either stop or they get dealt 1 penetrating damage. His other one is Web Shooters, which grants him Incapacitate. Looking at Spider-Man's dial, we get a couple clicks of Charge. We get some mid to late dial Hypersonic. And finally a click of Sidestep at the very end. On attack, we have some mid to late dial Precision Strike. On defense, we have a long run of Super Senses followed by a click of Regeneration. And then on damage, we have a couple clicks of Probability Control. That's nice for 50 points. Not even gonna lie. That is nice. I like it. I like that one a lot. They did good there. Now, looking at his booster counterpart. Comes in at 60 or 40 points, has the Fantastic Four team ability, as well as the Fantastic Four and scientist keywords. No Spider-Man family, surprisingly enough. His trait is, don't forget to look both ways before crossing the street. Friendly sidekicks need super senses. Okay, simple. On looking at his dial, again, it's in a long dial. We get top half of speed is leap climb, followed by hypersonic. Nothing on attack. Then we get some super senses, followed by defend, and then perplex on damage. It's not bad. That lack of mobility to start off with, the fact that he can't move an attack until he's if you start him off at full points, the fact that he can't move an attack until for 5 clicks or for 4 clicks is a little annoying. You're very much having to rely on telekinesis or something else. But yeah. Anyways, finally we have Dr. Doom. Here's his Fast Forces version. Blue tunic, white cloak. He is the only Fast Forces figure to have 2 separate point values. Comes in either 100 points or 50 points. Has the Minions of Doom and Fantastic Four team abilities, as well as the Fantastic Four, Latveria, Mystical, Ruler, and Scientist keywords. His version of the Fast Forces trait. Once again, I prove my superiority. Now, here's the thing, though. His activates on a 4 through 6. That does kind of make him stand apart from the other the other Fast Forces figures. Now, looking at his dial, we've got running shot start off with, followed by sidestep, penetrating like blast, followed by energy explosion. On defense, we alternate in 2 square blocks of between energy deflection and toughness. On damage, we have some mid to late we have support on the back half and nothing on the front half. The only thing that I see missing on here is probability control. One of the 3 main support powers: prob, outwit, or perplex. And perplex, mainly prob or outwit are the 2 I feel are lacking. But at 100 points, he's still not bad, especially with that dial length. Anyways, looking at his booster counterpart, all white with silver armor, comes in at 75 or 30 points. Minions of Doom and Fantastic Four team abilities, as well as the Fantastic Four, Latveria, Mystical, and Scientist keywords. 2 traits. First off, we have the Council of Doom's expert on destroying Richards. Sideline active, unique modifier. Friendly captains with sidekicks modify attack +1 when attacking 1 or more characters with the Fantastic Four keyword. Okay. Then we got the Strong Survive. Once per turn, when an opposing character is healed, after resolutions, you may heal 1 click on Dr. Doom or a sidekick. Okay. And it should also be noted that the 5 members of the Future Foundation all have Captain. Dr. Doom has Ally and Captain. Now, looking at Doom's dial, we get a couple clicks of Running Shot, a few clicks of Sidestep, and a couple clicks of Force Blast. On attack, we have a couple clicks of Penetrating Blast, a couple clicks of Energy Explosion, nothing after that, then 2 more clicks of Energy Explosion. Defensively speaking, we open up the special power Enhanced Shielding, which grants Doom Defend, Inertial Deflection, and Invulnerability. That thing gives way to some regular inertial deflection, and then back to the special power and 2 more clicks of inertial deflection. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Outwit, some mid-dial leadership, and then back to Outwit. Okay, alright. So, when it comes to a team, that is kind of the toughie, isn't it? To be perfectly honest, I gotta go with the building a team for them. I could not, in good conscience, I could not go for using the booster versions, simply because they're designed to work with sidekicks, and that's fine. It's just that's not what I'm not going to throw in, a whole bunch of sidekicks, or all the sidekicks, and additional captains to boost them up. So that said, we're not going to be using all 6 member figures from the Fast Forces. Instead, our team will consist of the Doctor Doom and the Future Foundation, and it's so basically everyone but Human Torch. So you've got Mr. Fantastic. Now this works out to an even 300 because with the Fast Forces figures being 50 point, the Fast Forces, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Thing, and Spider-Man all being 50 points. That's 200. Run Doom at 100 points. Boom, 300 points. Yeah, then we got Invisible Woman. The Thing. Spider-Man. And Doom. Let's see. Yeah, sadly we don't have any leadership though. We got some outwit. The things that is traded. We got some probability control, and we got some and we have some support. But it's not ideal. But yeah, like I said, the booster figures work so much better in conjunction with sidekicks. Doom actually is solid with or without sidekicks, as his trait that affects sidekicks can also affect himself. So yeah, even though he's not a sidekick. But anyway, that's it for now. We'll probably be taking a brief break on Share Trade Spotlight and Booster versus Starter versus Booster until after the Wonder Woman set releases, which should be releasing that should be releasing either next week or week after. We'll be as soon as possible. We're going to have an unboxing series. We'll be doing an unboxing series on it, and probably starting a week or two after that, we'll start having. We'll start doing shared trait spotlight and whatnot on Wonder Woman. One thing I can say about the Wonder Woman set: more captains and allies. So we might so maybe we'll maybe we'll also do something looking at captains, allies, and sidekicks too. But anyway, that's all for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.